First, thanks for having me being able to speak about, once again, about our restroom situation. Uh, I had to, usually when, sometimes I come here and all of a sudden some thoughts or ideas sort of get stopped at the city, so with city staff. So last week when we started talking about a possible restroom trailer, I ran it through some people at city staff. Some people were out of town. And late last week, I heard that they responded that it would be no problem for a restroom trailer at the end of Lemon and Pineapple. That's probably, I would think, one of the only places it could be, all the way to the end of the street that intersects with Pineapple. The alley that goes behind Bricks and all that, we have Brown's trucks are now going to be in there. So there will be no trucks and trailers on Lemon anymore. So that will be tied up. So unless we come up with some other place to put them, that's somewhat logical. If you look at, first I want to say I sent you, I had to give you the picture of this that I took this last Saturday.
Love it.
And it's really, I have to, sometimes when I get a chance, is remind everybody what these vendors do for the city, and they make money too, and whatnot. But it's a good draw, this farmers market, and all you guys, everyone knows that. But our restroom has been a problem, and I've been working for a lot of years on it, and I think we're at a point where something like this could work. It's a little big with the ADA, thing on it. I mean, I don't know if we could go with something without it, and then maybe people that had, maybe a handicap issue we could find something else, but, if we need to do the ADA thing, I think this is one proposal that could work.
I'd prefer to do the ADA compliant one so we have no issues in the future. And also, I think you have enough to do on market day than to figure out how to help a person who's ADA needs assistance. I think you have enough job jars, Phil. Any discussion on this? Questions?
I have.
Ernie?
It's my understanding that Paul Madison was supposed to have both of his bathrooms open for the farmer's market.
Mm-hmm.
I also understand that it's in his lease. Do you know if that's true?
I heard that it was in his lease and years ago, but I talked to Paul and I thought it was taken out. But he still lets people go in there. All our vendors use it early in the morning and all through the day to drive. Go ahead. Yeah.
But as I walk down the farmer's market,
Yeah.
I would never know that was true. Well, first we should find out if it's in his lease, so you have a legitimate reason to use those bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would suggest that we clear a 5-foot little path there and have public restrooms sign on Lemon Avenue, directing people back, and then another little public restroom sign with an arrow. If it's in his lease, we should use it. I'm not saying that we don't need this.
Okay, that's, yeah.
No, I'm just
Okay.
saying, it would help.
Yeah.
You're at the far end over there with this, but for the 1400 block, we should take advantage of the fact that he's got it, and we should just put 2 signs and clear out. We got the orchard people there, just have them scooch over. You could do it.
I've looked at that.
And
in bringing that photo, Ernie, from Saturday, I mean, we're not gonna, that's not going to suffice for all the people we have. But,
no, but
it could. I think that's something to look into. I'm not, opposed to, any of that.
Two issues. It would help.
Yeah.
It would help.
it would help.
It would help.
I'm just not
Right.
saying it's going to replace.
Is the Madison bathroom ADA? I assume it is.
Yeah.
Then that would mean if we have that ADA, you might be able to not have this one ADA.
But then to save a few dollars, we're going to have to find somebody from the farmer's market to tell them where the Madison's is as they go to that restroom, get frustrated, can't find it ADA compliant. I mean, it can't be much delta. Just let me finish the thought. Let me finish the thought. Right. Okay. Thank you. So I'd rather have it compliant, not deal with an issue in the first, and then another issue to be sued upon because we didn't take the extra step and make it ADA compliant. So I'd like to be ADA compliant, respect all citizens, and take the burden off the merchants that are cooperating and making a burden on them, especially when you have crowds like this. It's almost disgraceful for a city like us not to have a restroom facility, so, and it's embarrassing, and I think we need
Not
to,
almost disgraceful, it
yeah,
is
and-
disgraceful.
yes, and it is disgraceful, and I think we need to step up as a did board, this is what we do, this is right in our district, it's a big important piece of our financial health downtown, and I'm very supportive of this, and I look for support of the board to help Phil facilitate this purchase and acquisition, and we fund this purchase and acquisition, and of course, you're coordinating this with the city, because the area you're talking about, Phil Smith mentioned to me there's also a food truck area inside the park. You could have, discussion with him and see what makes the best solution to you, and the best management system, and best easy for the city to do it to you on the weekends. And you're gonna maintain this, if I'm correct?
Well,
once
we would
buy
take
these,
it in
you're
and
gonna
out.
maintain.
The Public Works is a place, I think, where we could store it.
Great,
We'd have to work on the vehicle that would tow it, because we could work on that if it went through. But I've also talked to our people that do our portalettes, and it would basically be pumped out. It has to be cleaned before it gets moved. It would be cleaned before, from 2 to 4, right at the space,
you still have
every
some-
Saturday. So it'd be in and out, be in early in the morning and out by, let's say, 4 o'clock to give it a little window. Excuse me?
Would this take the place of the?
Yes, it would.
So that
Yes, it
be
would.
Another eyesore that goes away.
Yep.
How many restrooms are in this?
How many restrooms are in this?
I think there's,
The thing right there in front of you, there's 2 of them.
That's right there.
And each one has 2 toilets in each one, so it's boys and girls with 2 toilets in each one and a sink.
I want
Mr. Ritz?
to correct myself. The Madison bathrooms are not handicapped anymore. So they're not handicapped.
Yes, but we do have city bathrooms at the bus station that I guarantee you are handicapped. And that's open to everybody in the city.
So, do I have a motion to approve Phil's
Are they
request?
participating
wait, what is-
fiscally in this?
I'm sorry?
Is the farmer's market participating in any way?
Let me ask you one other question. I have one question.
Before you fund it, we were talking
Yeah, let's
about.
discuss.
Okay, I have a question, thank you, well, plenty of comment time. Just to understand, you're gonna maintain these, correct? You're not
Correct.
gonna come back for maintenance money or cleaning, janitorial services, or repairs or maintenance, you'll do whatever this warranty comes with, and then whatever the future may hold, is that correct?
we could draw up an agreement, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just asking the question if you have plans for that, okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Soto.
My feeling is, I like the idea of doing it. I always feel that it's always a little better when everybody's got a little skin in the game, so that we're not just, here's a gift, all right? I would like to see them put part of it up, we'll put part of it up. So it's a joint effort. It's not just, here's a gift for you. I like the farmer's market, all right?
Yep.
But I still think they need to have a little skin in the game.
Yeah. Let me tell you how much skin we do. I mean, we barely make ends meet. And if you want to see our 990, as I said the last time, you go ahead. If I have to raise the money through the community as a non-for-profit, I'll go to the community and start as soon as possible. So you tell me how much skin you want, because the skin we sort of give downtown and for what we draw is pretty good. I mean, we've been asking for years for some of these restrooms, and if, you think that, we're just overflowing with money here, it doesn't mean that if you want to tell me that we need to go raise 10,000 or a part of it, let me know, because it's going to take a while, and that's fine. And we'll just be, the way we are, I think we're a pretty important entity to downtown, so
Couldn't agree more.
that's where we're at. We want to draw it on.
What do you guys spend each week in portalettes?
Portalettes, I think it's $250. I think it's about $300 a month to leave them there and have them cleaned.
Who owns the portlets?
The Portalette company, I guess. We lease them. We don't lease them.
$300 a month to rent them? 4 times a month?
They clean them every week, and they charge us, I think it's $300 a month.
To rent and clean them?
Correct.
That cheap?
But when we bring them in and out, like if we had to have them picked up every Saturday or Monday, it would go up to, so instead of $3,000 a year, it would go up to like $10,000 a year.
When we do
On every
festivals,
construction.
they're about $75 a piece. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's pickup and delivery. That's what it boils down to.
Ritz.
New Year's Eve cost me $2,000 to have 30 of them brought in. 5 of them are handicapped.
I concur. I pay $92 a month when I have a portalet for construction jobs. So that's a good deal, actually, and I have one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He's a repeat
you got
customer.
a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay. As you know, I've had a personal fight with the farmer's market, or let's say with you, in the past.
Yeah.
On 2 occasions.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to reaffirm publicly that the letters that you sent to me, and you copied the city commission and all those things, that was a mistake, and that there is some consideration to the merchants around there. And when you hear a complaint from the merchants over and over again, the same complaint over and over again, and you only complain that they're complaining the same thing and don't take care of it, that there'll be some action to it.
Well, I think,
Because your letter was really disgraceful to me.
which one? You're talking about a couple of years ago?
Well, a couple of years ago was
know, I mean-
most disgraceful thing, but that's over the dam.
Yeah,
Then you
okay.
just went on TV and lied about things. You were totally wrong and you lied about things.
Mark, personal attacks, we're trying not to do personal attacks.
Well, he's asking me. And the one a couple of weeks ago was also awful. Our tenants have asked you twice, not twice, 2 tenants have asked you week in and week out, and you sent a letter, you said, we have the permit, they can't tell you what to do.
You know what, Dr. Kaufman, I think you're bringing this up. I think I apologize or did whatever, I did a few
Just
weeks ago.
want to put it on
No,
the
you hear
table
me
that
out. No,
that what you said to me is not true, that you have
I
to
don't
give
know.
some
You
consideration.
know what? That park isn't even done. It's gonna be opened up on Thursday. Do you ever come down and see logistically how some of our people have to set up? We moved there before it was even ready. We had no electricity. We had no space to put the vendors, but we did it. We did it to help State Street and down to Lemon. Because of your 2 people that wanted to have, sort of design the whole market just for them during construction, was just a little uncalled for. So if you're looking for an apology or whatever, I've done whatever I could for everybody down there. That's what
Letter
you're
was
looking for.
uncalled for. And
No,
making
that has to
public.
do with the restroom trailers, that's
Hey,
fine.
Gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate that.
You don't appreciate it.
I appreciate your comments. I said I appreciate your comments.
Well, I didn't appreciate his action.
I understand that you've made it known.
And when I do something with him for 101, that he makes it public and gives it to every commissioner. And he's in the wrong.
Okay, I think that's best addressed with him personally. Thank you. So, I'd like to, any other discussion, Eileen, please?
Yeah, well, I have a question. And it's not, I've been asking for washrooms for downtown forever, so it's not anything to do with that. But a couple of years ago, we voted that anyone who was asking us for money should show us their financials. And I don't think we ever do it. And I'm not suggesting we bring it up with Phil now, but we can't go around making, rules for ourselves and then just not listening to it.
I look at this 2 ways. First of all, his 990 is available to us anytime online. You'll see his financials, number 1. Number 2, I look at this almost as infrastructure improvements, which is the mission of DIP.
No, I'm not against this.
It's right inside our district. I mean, I couldn't think of a better use of our money for what we've tried, 10 times with the city to come up with a solution, including most recently with Mr. Lyons, who explained to me why it didn't work for him. We tried everything, A, to save money, B, to make it a permanent install over there, to be only open by the farmer's market, maintained by the farmer's market, we gave it a good college try with Mr. Lyons, and he explained to us why it just didn't fit within his scope. So we understand that. So we're out of ideas and solutions. Phil and I have been talking about this now for 3 solid years, trying to figure out solutions, absent taxing the merchants by use of their restrooms, which all the State Street tenants have been cooperative and using them, and it creates quite a nuisance and problem, but we've been good soldiers and soldiering on, but it's also a big burden on our DID members and taxpayers. So I think this is an excellent solution to a problem that the city's not going to handle right now, and I think we're the only source to fix this. Mr. Ritz.
I agree with Eileen, even if we vote yes or whatever we want to do, that we set a rule and that we should stick to it. Yes, the 990 is available, then let's have it. Does it?
It's online.
Have you
Can
seen
I
it?
say something real quick?
Sure.
I would love you to look at the 990, I really would, because you could see all our expenses or whatever. But if you want a little shortcut, you can go to the Community Foundation.
But I don't want to do anything. I just want it handed to me.
Well, no, you know,
I mean, you download
I
it.
could probably email it, I'll
Download it.
email it to you, I mean,
All right,
you know.
email it. Email it
you
to
know.
every one of us.
Email to John and he'll send it to us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get you our 990, that'll explain everything, you know,
So
so.
give us a short version, just a minute, please. Could you give us a short version of what your 990 balance sheet looks like?
Okay, basically, I think we do, we take in about 190,000 a year, and then it will include deductions for, or expenses of city police of 15,000 and crossing guards, portalets of $3,000 or $5,000. Our entertainment is at about $16,000. Did I say our city permit's about $9,000? What else? You know, we have staff, we have, my salary's $48,000, I think I said that last time, so, you know, but all of that is on there. So I'll tell you, I would love you, I'll send it to you.
Is there a bottom line revenue excess and carryover each year?
No, we had no, we were, there was no carryover this year.
Have you had just a minute, have you had
Okay.
shortfalls? Have you had shortfalls where you couldn't balance your budget?
You're asking me some financial
Let's be
stuff.
close,
I
let's
think
be
you're putting me
close.
on the, you know, on the thing here. We use Kirkland and Barbario for our taxes. We also have a bookkeeper that we use, and we also have someone for payroll. So one thing about our finances, we are so, I would call it squeaky clean with everything, you know, as a 501c3, that everybody is welcome to look at whatever we have. And let me just say that I raised through sponsorship 20,000 last year, and I'm lucky we did it. And things like music and things that we do, if I don't go out and raise that money, we're going to have one little guy down there instead of the big jazz band or some of the things we do, or just think one person at each end for $150, a music person, you know, that's 12, you know, that's 15,000 right there.
So whatever.
So, you know, we have a lot of expenses.
So the few leftovers here and there would help you enhance the market, if I'm correct. And also to, lost my point for a second, to enhance the market. This is a big enhancement to the market, and I think it's an integral part of the market to have responsibility to have restrooms for people to come down. When you have 15,000 people at that event, not to have a restroom facility is ridiculous. And this is what our DID is for. This is in the district. It's one of our major assets of the DID district. We all benefit, our merchants benefit from this, and I think we need to support this fully today and try and move this forward and not kick the can down the road again and again and again. Mr. Kaufman?
First of all, I'm going to vote for this. My question is, where do you store it?
I think we could store it at Public Works.
Cross Street here.
Yeah, we have a trailer now, a 16-foot trailer that we store
And the second point
on
is,
location.
this solves the immediate problem, but it doesn't solve the problem for restrooms for the rest of the week.
That's correct.
So, notwithstanding this, I assume that this item could be, if we put restrooms, permanent restrooms somewhere, maybe we could sell this and recapture 20 cents on the dollar, you know.
I would say we could figure out what to do with that, was a good point. Although permanent restrooms, if you go to Island Park and look what that situation looks like on a daily basis, it'd be a very bad thing to have downtown based upon the performance of Island Park and the maintenance of Island Park, I think. Not on purpose, but just the way
Two-way
things are
storage,
happening.
no doubt about it.
It's tough.
But what do you do for the people that want to go to the restroom during the week?
Well, use the merchants use the merchants, which don't have, some days Dimmitt can have 150 go through to use the restrooms. So they don't mind 10 a day coming in and use the restrooms, that's fine. Or other nice tenants that cooperate.
I'm not mad about it, frankly.
Yep.
You know, you say you don't mind. I'm not mad about it. I get strange people coming in. You know, I'm there alone. I'm not mad about cleaning public washrooms for the city.
Yes.
Would there be a consideration that we own this restroom? We buy it, we own it, and we rent it to them for $300 a month?
The same what they were paying before.
Same what
Same
they're
you were
paying.
paying for the toilets.
Same with, that they're paying for the toilet, but it's a big upgrade. We own it. That'd be $3,100
So we're fronting the money.
a month that we would get back over a period.
That would work if you guys logistically brought it in and out and handled everything.
Why that?
Because I think, you know, if you guys own it, you'd have the I don't have, you know, I don't think we should have
You
the
want us
responsibility.
to buy it and then just give it away?
That's what I'm asking, Ernie.
Well, let me just say too, I mean, I've been really busy with what's going on, you know, with some things. But, you know, there's no reason why other people couldn't use it within the city, or we could have an agreement with others. I mean, you know, it could be available for other people to use. We're not gonna just close it off. There's something going on during the week, or if there's a Sunday event,
That's all the more reason why we should own it.
well, then, you know,
I mean,
Well, let
we
me
could
just
own
say,
it.
we don't need to maintain another thing. So, and repair another thing. My question is, if someone else in the city approaches you through city government or whatever and asks to use those, you'd obviously cooperate with them and let them use it.
Correct.
At their expense, take it to whatever facility they wanted, and they'd have to clean it up and restore it back to you. We're gonna have a maintenance situation. We'll be cleaning it, repairing it, taking care of it. I don't wanna do it anymore.
Ernie, can I say something? I don't want to get in the middle like all of a sudden, you know, you know, something happened. I don't want to be coming into the DID every month answering a question on, oh, geez, you know, instead of getting out at 3 o'clock, it got out at 3:10. You know, I don't think the market wants to be, you know, under the gun with a lot of things. I appreciate that thought, but that probably
This is
would
way
be tough.
different than marketing, people that come to us for marketing requests, because it's not, you can't quantify what the results are. This, you'll know the results every single week, 52 weeks a year from. Like marketing dollars, we don't know where they went and how the results worked. So I think this is a different apples and oranges.
As far as other people using, if I can interrupt for a
Sure.
second, I doubt if that's ever gonna happen. All right, if I'm doing a festival or something like that, it's on the weekend, so it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He's gonna take it on Saturday. That leaves it out.
Right.
Even something like New Year's, that happens on a Thursday this year, all right? It's got 2 bathrooms in there, all right? I'm still gonna have to put 30 Johnny Quicks all over the place, which is what I'm doing now.
Okay,
So why drag that thing out and have to drag it in at the end of the night?
Wasn't looking to solve that problem.
That ain't gonna happen.
What's the bottom line?
Just to remind you, the DID is an agency of the city. I doubt the city's going to want to get involved in ownership of something that they can't forecast their liability.
Right, so I said, I don't want
I
to
would-
take care of it.
I would like to see us put some money up. I'd like to see the farmers market put some money up so they have some skin in the game. It's not just a gift.
Any chance the city will put some money up? I mean, it really is the city's responsibility to do half the things they don't do. I'm just asking. It's
Well, just to clarify, you know, we have a permit with the city, so I think the city sort of, you know, we're somewhat on our own for a lot of things we do. Doesn't mean not to ask, but I think, you know,
The city charges them the $8,000 and takes their money. They're not willing to advance more money to this
If the
organization.
city-
Charging you for the permit. They can waive the permit fees and help the farmer's market. They don't
darn
do that.
right, yeah.
well, that's for our barricades and
They don't do
trash,
that.
so,
They don't
you
do
know,
that.
I mean, of course, for
What's
30
the bottom,
years.
what's the total price on this?
It's
24.
$40-some thousand, 46.
$47,348. Is that correct, Phil?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion. Do I have a motion, please? Support a motion to help Phil assist and acquire these for his management and take care of these restrooms, public restrooms, that he would have on the farmer's market days, open only during farmer's market hours. I have a second on the motion.
I'll second it.
Second from Eileen. Any discussion further? We think we've discussed it.
Is it out of the line, questions say courtesy of Downtown Improvement District? If we want our names on bathrooms, I'm
Why?
not.
Definitely could have it wrapped if you wanted,
Why?
you know, but I don't want to,
I'm saying, I don't know.
We don't need to advertise the DID.
you may not want to open the door to.
I don't want to, yeah.
All right,
There'll be more
just
people
asking.
coming for marketing dollars be coming to us from.
My suggestion that this would be a grant to the farmer's market for their purchase, just to
Yes,
clarify.
I understand that. I appreciate that, John. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, can I call the
Need
vote?
city permission from this?
I've already got permission to put it there.
No, I mean, do
No,
we?
because it's
For us to-
over,
I don't think we don't need, no, it's in our, it's
do we
in
have
our,
to
it's
send
in our
this out to
purview this side.
bid, is what he's saying. Do we have to send this out to bid because it's over the $5,000 mark?
For his grant.
We have to get 3 bids on this
We have to
thing?
get 3 quotes, yes.
We're
Yeah.
giving him a grant.
Well, let me check. If it's a grant, can we just issue a grant? Their rules would apply to which product they would use. So if they've essentially selected the product, my guess is we could just issue a grant, but I'll have to check that out.
Okay, so I changed my request. So I would like to give the farmer's market a grant up to this amount, subject to fulfilling the bidding requirements, and he would have to take the lowest bidder And our cost could no greater than this, but could come down if he found other competitive bids under the grant process that we gave him.
45,000?
It's
47.
47,348. And if there's an upset number down, then he passes the savings on to us. Our grant gets reduced by that amount. Okay, Phil?
Oh, 47.
Yeah. So if there's a better price out there, when he goes to shop this again, under our grant, that's the cap of the grant. The grant could only go down from there. Okay? That's the
All right. We got a motion, we got a
motion.
second.
We got a second. Can we call the question? All in support?
Well,
Aye.
we have a little discussion, don't we?
Okay, I thought we
had some
discussed it.
discussion.
Let's have some more discussion.
I'm gonna have one last little thought.
Have it.
Because I'm gonna go back again, I like to see a little skin in the game. How many people do you have at the farmer's market?
What do you mean?
How many vendors?
We have 70.
70 vendors. Just as simple as saying it's gonna be $10 more a month, all right? $10 more, which isn't a whole lot of money, all right? That's gonna be $700 a month that they could do it, and what Ernie was saying, that would cover that, plus with money left over. And again, they'd have a little skin in the game. That's the bottom line.
I don't mind a little skin in the game, but just to go up on vendors is a whole process. This is not an easy thing, and whatever, and it may be for the restrooms or whatever. But just, why don't you, this is gonna cost, I don't even know how much this is gonna cost to have pumped out every week. So we could be looking at an actually bigger expense than what we're paying now, which we could incur, somehow.
You're getting them pumped
So
out
if you
now.
want skin in the game, come up with a number like we put in $5,000 or something. I mean, I just can't, there's a whole process to go up on vendors. It goes to our board, then it goes the annual meeting. I mean, things just don't, we're pretty legitimate non-for-profit, so,
would think if
it's
the
not
board
like
wants-
call them up and,
If the board wanted restrooms that bad, they'd vote to.
you just
up
tell
their
us what
ante
you
by
want,
$10.
you just tell us what you want to do.
Perhaps the model is the St. Armand Circle model for their public restroom. Their bid is paying for the restroom, and the entity that, which happens to be the city, is paying for the maintenance. So if he's substituting for the city and paying for the maintenance, then perhaps that model is somewhat analogy. You fund the cost of the unit. His skin in the game is the continuous maintenance and storage.
He has to maintain it, storage, service it, repair it. If it's vandalized, he has to repair it. It's all on his nickel.
No, understand too, I have to drive this thing in and out every week, probably me, okay? And then I have another trailer, so,
Better have a dually.
there's lots of skins that's gonna be,
Back
going
up.
down here.
I agree, let's fund the whole thing. I mean, to ask him for $5,000, let's fund the whole thing. And I wouldn't object to a little sign on there provided by the DID board. Not, the public won't know what that means, but the people who know what the DID board is would be worthwhile.
Okay. Phil, is that fine with you? Thank you. Okay, I think any more comment? Call the vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pass unanimously. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
That was 5-0.
Thank you, Phil.
5-0, was it?
5-0, yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil.
Need it for New Year's.